we're live. That was my didgeridoo.
You know, there's a episode. There's an episode of True Blood where the beginning of the episode starts like that, and it's kind of jarring because you think you're watching an episode of True Blood and it starts like that. Apparently, they go out on a date or whatever, and it's some sort of throat singing, it's called. Yeah. And that shit is so hilarious because it's so jarring. You're not muting your microphone.
I don't mute my microphone.
For real? I thought we was trying to be professional, you motherfucker.
You know what? Fuck professionality. And plus, my muting of microphone isn't going to work when I'm using the Snowball. I wish the Snowball had like a little mute button on it, like a manual mute. I pressed the mute button on the thing that we're using. Yeah, but that don't work for me. I like the I can mute it in. I like the manual mute, just like, you know.
Okay. All right. So, welcome. It's Sarcasm. Hello.
Hello.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
I have, a lot of people have noticed that there have been a few changes to the feed. First of all, Casual Conversation about the Digicast has now released their second episode.
Yep.
And they had a guest on. I haven't gotten around to it.
I haven't got around to it either. I mean,
it was kind of busy. Like Mondays are usually typically busy for me at work. So I haven't gotten around to it yet. I finally recorded the 5 games that I come back to. I recorded it, I edited it myself, and I put it up myself.
Yeah, I did listen to that. It's legit, man. Legit.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking? Okay, first of all, that thing was a lot harder to do than I thought. I kept like, without having you to like, talk to and kind of bounce things off of, that thing took me damn near an hour to record. So yeah, I'm out of practice with like doing a show and just kind of doing it myself. I'm really out of practice when it comes to that. I used to be able to do like 45 minutes easy with no issues, but I kept having to restart that. So like what you hear on that is like take 5. Like really is like take 5. But I really enjoyed that. I think possibly whenever I do decide to kind of back off it a little bit, I'd like to do more of those type things. Maybe even video it for the YouTube channel and things of that nature. Especially once I get my editing skills up a little bit higher, just the idea that I can put out things like that without, just sitting here for an hour and a half, just shooting the shit. But I really did have fun with that. I recorded that, and I recorded the video that's on the painting YouTube channel, for, talking about the contest. Now the contest, or the giveaway, is still active. I just need subscribers to the painting YouTube channel. I'm giving away painting once I hit the milestones. So the first milestone is 50 subscribers. Once I hit 50 subscribers, I will give away a painting, either a painting that I've already made, or a painting that I talked to the winner and they let me know what's hot on these streets, as far as colors and stuff go. And I make one for the YouTube channel, maybe even do a live stream. So that's there. So go to the YouTube channel, YouTube, Peace Through Colors, Arts and Crafts, because I do not have a custom URL for YouTube yet, because you don't get one of those until you have 100 subscribers. So that'll be the next milestone that I'll probably do another giveaway of some sort. Then
tiny URL.
Forget all that tiny URL nonsense. No, I want an actual YouTube URL.
Yeah, I know.
A real one. I want a real one with nuts. You know what I'm saying? Like, just I need something with some nuts on it. So like, I want my thing. I want it to mean something. So it means more if I get it because of the subscribers, as opposed to like me going through something like Tiny URL and working that out. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Tiny URL, I'm not saying that's your custom URL. That just makes it easier for people to find you.
It does, but there's also a lot of other things that I kind of want to do. Like I've been playing so much Division that I haven't really done really much of anything else other than go to work, and just like everyday life stuff. Yeah. I have almost every time I get a chance, I did play other things. I absolutely did play other things. But every time I get on, so the moment I turn my Xbox on, my cousin is like, "Yo, you trying to get on this Division?" I'm like, "Fuck!" Like, brother, nigga was trying to play some Killing Floor today. Like, fuck it, I'm gonna get in these Division streaks.
Is that the same cousin with the Killing Floors?
Yes.
Cool.
So like it's been the Division experience has been a lot better because I have somebody to play the game with.
Yeah.
And like he's typically higher than me, because he plays a lot more than I do. But like, so then like he'll get in and he'll just like drop a whole bunch of shit that he's not using. That's just a higher level than what I have. So like, like today I started off, I was like 380 something, and he just kept dropping 400 pieces every time he got one. Just be like, hey, take this, because at this point he's like 409, 410, somewhere around there. So like I'm leveling up, not just because I'm playing the game, but because I'm playing with somebody that's not selfish. And like if I find something that's really good and it's something that he thinks that he needs, like a gun type or something like that, that's higher than the one that he's using, we'll trade off and we'll give each other things and stuff like that.
At least you could do that. Like in Destiny, you couldn't do that at all. They give you the option to be selfless.
Right. And that's what I liked when they added that, because it wasn't in Division 1 initially, but eventually they added that. And because they added that, now and the cool part about it is, like, I can't give you nothing that I didn't earn when I wasn't with you. And that's how they keep it. They keep it so that people just don't just hop into people's games and just drop a whole bunch of shit on their friends or whatever like that. Yeah. No, if we weren't together, it actually says, like, there's a timer. Like you look on the item, there's a timer. You have a time limit of how long it's going to be before you can drop this. I mean, or how long it's going to be before you can't drop it anymore. And also, it tells you who you can share it with. And so, like,
they kind of have to do, because I think that's the one thing with like Destiny they were trying to figure out. Because in a game like Borderlands, it don't fucking matter if you boosted. But in those games, it does, because it does have competitive components. It has even the cooperative components. You want it to be like kind of legit. So if they had it to where you can just trade up anything, then it would be just as broken as Borderlands. But Borderlands isn't broken per se, because it doesn't matter if you break it, but it's still there. You're muted, man. It's muted. You're muted. You're still muted, man.
I keep muting the vape because I mute the vape.
I muted that last time because I learned from you. You told me the error of my ways, that I need to be more sociable.
Yes. So with the Borderlands thing, there's not a competitive component to it.
Right.
It's mostly it's just co-op. Which is, it works out better, but a lot of the competitive aspects of Division 2, it's all normalized. So, like, even if you do feel like you have a competitive advantage, your skills get normalized the moment you walk in there. Yeah. So, And that's the reason why, like I said before, they made the Dark Zone tolerable because of the normalization.
Yeah.
Like that, and that's really cool. Also, side note to the listeners, I have not done very much of anything besides the Division, so I have a bunch of Division to talk about. If you're not really into the Division, go out and check out Casual Conversation, because this is going to be very Division heavy. So
we're supposed to be about unity, man, not dividing.
It is. For whatever
Division.
For whatever you talk about,
Division, man.
But that's the only thing I have to talk about, though.
It's a division joke, dividing division.
I know what you're saying. You should never have to explain the joke, but
yeah, but you were saying oh, well, I'm not trying to divide our listeners, Right. But so I felt that I did have to explain it because I thought you took it serious.
Okay. And then another thing I want to talk about. I received a package. And the package had Chris's name on it from EDG.
Nice.
So I don't check my PO box very often, so it might have been there. I don't know how long it's actually been there, but yeah. So I got the package. I opened the package, and it was a couple of 360 games, and it was also a card. And the card was, I felt that. My brothers. It was signed by Chris and me.
Nice.
And it was 360 games, but the most important of the 360 games was the Fable 2 Anniversary Edition. Because listeners to the show would know that I ended up giving my copy to my daughter, and I wasn't able to play the game with her because the disc had the DLC on it, and I did so. In order for me to play the game with her, I had to buy either the DLC or buy another game with the DLC on it in order for us to be able to play, because she was playing the game with the DLC in it. So yeah, and they sent me one, and I thought that was really stinking dope. And thank you, Bruss. If there's anything I can do, throw some art your way or something like that, holla at your boy. So thank you to those dudes, because they didn't have to do that, but the fact that they actually did that for me and for my Pooh Bear was really dope. I did get Pooh Bear started. Pooh Bear finally got to take her Xbox One home. And pretty much almost every time I'm on Xbox Live, she's on Xbox Live, especially during the weekends. And she's been grinding through Saints Row 2 a lot. Saints Row 2 and Dragon Age 2, because she wanted another game where there was more of a story and not necessarily a focus on a ton of action. She wanted to do that component of it. She wanted to do the story part and come apart. And, I wanted her to start. Well, the first Dragon Age sucks. Let's be honest. The first one is terrible, fucking terrible. The first Dragon Age is hard. I do not like. I never played 2 at all. I just figured I played 1, and I played Inquisition. Both of them I played a little bit. I didn't play enough to really get the full blah blah blah. But I played a decent chunk of Origins. I really did, and I did not like it at all. It was basically Knights of the Old Republic, but in the worst way possible. And the Fade level of it was absolutely horrendous. And I was using a walkthrough for that because I just wanted to get out of that shit as quickly as fucking possible. So that shit, I just didn't like that part of it. I don't know.
Shit, I was muted, but not muted for you. I said, yeah, but I said tell you how you feel, Scar.
Yeah, so So I can't really call Origins as an overall product because I didn't finish it. But the fade turned me off so much that I was just done with the whole thing.
Right.
Like I was absolutely done. That shit turned me off. I was just kind of like, this is stupid. But the guide that I was using, I guess what they were trying to do was have me do that early and get it out the way. But it just pissed me off so much that I was just like, I'm done with this. Like,
did you fuck around with the blood magic?
I don't even remember. It's been so long. Like, I'm quite possible, but I don't know. I don't even remember anything. But I did play Inquisition. Inquisition seemed really dope, but like I didn't realize that where I was not the full game. Like I played a few hours actually, but I was still in the starting area, I guess. So I never played enough for it to open up. And I did play a little bit of the multiplayer of Inquisition, with like Blue and some other people, maybe once. Like, but you know, that one is weird because like you don't, it's a character that's completely separate from everything else. Kind of like Mass Effect 3. And the character is completely divorced from everything to do with the game, basically. It was just kind of weird. But I enjoyed Inquisition for what I played. I just didn't enjoy it enough to keep.
Right.
And I don't think fantasy and me are friends because I basically did the same thing with The Witcher 2. I don't think fantasy and me are we're just not friends. I don't know why. I don't know what
you need your robots.
Yeah,
and mech suits.
I'm way more into sci-fi. Just as a thing, I'm just way more into sci-fi, and I don't think fantasy works for me. And it's not anything wrong with these games. I just don't think that they're for me because like Dragon Age Origins had a lot of Knights of the Old Republic in it. I've played Knights of the Old Republic, and I was real cool with it, but it was something about the fantasy just don't sit right with me, so I just never finished it.
Right. It'd be cool if they actually made a Star Trek game that was an actual legit like RPG, not like the Star Trek Online. I know that's a thing, but like because Mass Effect and Star Trek are very kind of similar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that they could do something like that, and it'd be pretty legit.
But see, here's the problem with a Star Trek game. If you make it an action game, like what kind of variety that you have with the weapons?
I think they could just they could do like blasters and shit.
Yeah, I mean it just doesn't seem like there's that much of the variety there that I would need in order to play through a Mass Effect type Star Trek game. You know what I mean? Like, of course they're able to do Star Wars, and that's cool. I really wish that they would let them do a Knights of the Old Republic 3, but pretty much EA has that license locked down for the most part.
Yeah.
What sucks, but I really feel like they need to take that license back. Because EA ain't done really a whole lot with the license. They just keep canceling the games. And the games that are coming out are like broken so bad at launch, or like has the ridiculous microtransaction stuff as like Battlefront had, and all of this kind of stuff is just like, maybe it might be time for you to take your shit back. Kind of like how y'all did with, Disney. Kind of like how y'all did with Netflix. Like you made Netflix give y'all, get rid of all that shit.
Yeah. Oh, there's something I wanted to say last time when I was talking about my trip to GameStop, but I forgot. Okay, there's this lady in there, right? And she was trying to buy something for her husband, I believe. It was some family member that played a lot of video games, but she was like, well, I want to find one that's like, because he really liked Far Cry 5, but like, when the kids would come in the room, it's like a lot of F-bombs and stuff, so let's try to like do something not like that or whatnot, and then but he only really likes like really good games. Like if it's like kind of like subpar, he's not going to really like dig it. You know what I mean? So it's and pretty much everything they listed off, he already had, like Skyrim, any of that kind of stuff, you know. And so finally they did her dirty, man, because she didn't know nothing about that shit. that dude sold her on Anthem, and he was like, man, it's like you're like have all this, it's like really good and all this stuff. And I was like, really, dude? I was just, you know, because it's none of my business, you know, but man,
that's
I was like,
fucked up.
Yeah,
Anthem,
that they know that shit's got bummed in the fucking reviews and shit. And
yeah, and they know that for the most part, like I heard that there was like an update and it fixed some of the things, but for the most part, that game was broken.
Yeah,
and the loot system wasn't right, and all of this kind of stuff. That's another thing that I'll say about Division. Division got the loot shit right. They decided to go completely into the Borderlands / Diablo style loot system where they just give you a bunch of shit. Like you just get so much shit. I had to increase my backpack to hold 100, and I keep filling that bitch up.
Yeah, like the thing about did you ever watch any of the videos or like read the thing about the new why it all got fucked up and shit?
No.
But I actually did watch the Angry Joe one.
Meaning you said why it all got messed up. Yes, I watched shorter videos because I didn't watch Angry Joe because all of his videos are like an hour. And because I was like made the joke that most of his videos are like 75% skits and like 25%, you know, like actual content. No, you said 80-20.
I did, but that one was different. It was more like a podcast format, but in video form. So I'd say if you were actually interested in hearing what he had to say, which is pretty much the same thing, it's a little bit more entertaining than like I dig Young, yeah, but he can be kind of boring because it's just.
I do not like that dude. I do. There's something about him that I just don't dig. I found some random dude that had like a 16-minute video, and I'm like, yes, let's do 16.
Well, his was like 12 or 15, but the only there's something about his like voice or something that's just like different. But I
don't know. It's something about him, like.
But I go to his videos because he normally just like it's just what happened. You know, it's just the information. So but yeah, Angry Joe's was a little bit more free flowing, like a podcast. It was definitely a podcast, straight up, because there's like two other guys and they were sitting and just talking about it and going down pulling points and stuff. But yeah, it was pretty much the same thing that happened to Anthem, basically. They made it in like freaking 12 months.
No, 9. They made it like 9 months. I mean, a lot of people are saying that it's BioWare's fault, and I keep saying that is EA's fault. I think the real blame is somewhere in the middle.
Well, the thing is, like, they started that whole project in like 2012, and that when we saw Anthem at E3 that year, that's the first time some of the developers were even seeing that shit. The game hadn't even started development yet. That was still pre like let's try to figure out. And they thought of the name Anthem like a week before that E3 thing.
No, they didn't think of the name Anthem. Somebody thought of the name for them.
Yeah, because Beyond wasn't like going to work, you know, and of course Dylan's not going to work because, I mean, that's like you can't name your name.
Yeah, that was kind of stupid. The whole Dylan thing was fucking stupid. Let's be honest.
But yeah, because it was originally wasn't supposed to be even a looter shooter, so they were like, So it's a looter shooter. So now we gotta do that. So that's why all the guns and stuff are like generic guns and they all look the same because it wasn't even supposed to be that in the first place. So they're trying to like, and people are like, oh, did they put the DLC behind paywall again? Take stuff out? Actually, no, because they hadn't even made it yet.
Okay, so here's the thing. I played through the Mass Effect games several times. We all know. We kind of understand that they're not very good with gun variety already.
Right, but it wasn't supposed to be like a game that like that, but they kind of changed it into that, and then they pretty much had to rework everything after that all the time. And yeah, EA's whole thing about trying to do Frostbite everything, which, you know, Frostbite's a beautiful engine for what it's meant to be. It was made by DICE to make Battlefield games, and now they're wanting to like make everything else like it was never. I think that's why in the game you're a fucking mech dude and you don't actually make your character, because Frostbite isn't very good at like making characters. So all the actual faces in the game are all mocap because.
Well, they redid all of the mocap after Andromeda. They were like, no, we can't do this again.
Right.
Let's go ahead and record some shit.
And they recorded it like one take, and then they had to rework the story, and then they were like, we can't do this again, so the mocap's fine. So certain story beats didn't even make sense. Like the dude was like, yeah, I saw the smoldering ashes of your javelin, and then she never crashed her javelin because that part was changed in the story, but they kept the line because they couldn't redo it. So it was just all fucked up.
Yeah, it's a fucked up situation, but here's the thing. Here's where I put the blame on EA.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the story, they said that EA actually put somebody there to help to facilitate them putting all of this shit together.
Yeah.
Like you have an outline here. EA is gonna send a dude there to try to, assist or do whatever he can to make sure that y'all can get a fucking product out the door. Why did that guy not say, EA, this shit ain't gonna work? Like, you know what I mean? Like, the EA guy, at the very least, should have been like, this shit doesn't work right now. They gonna need more time. Like, there is no way that this thing can actually come out the way it is. Like, that's where I put the blame on EA. Now, and also the Frostbite thing and all of that kind of stuff. And then, of course, within the studio, there was a lot of turnover. That was the big key to me. Like, they'll get to a certain point and then the person who's in charge of it is just like, I'm out.
Yeah, because Casey Hudson left. You thought that Casey Hudson left because of like Mass Effect and stuff. He left during this shit. Like during the pre-development of this shit, and then came back at the end, But I just don't understand how they can get up in front of these audiences and talk about this game and like the stuff that you can do in it and like our vision and stuff when they don't even have anything, and they know it.
But that's the purpose of a shit like E3. Like, we look at E3 as a thing for us, but like E3 is for the industry. Like, it's not for us, and it's for like showcasing things that like we are going to require y'all motherfuckers to sell, like that type of stuff. But we look at E3 as like, oh, the press conferences give us a glimpse into what we gonna get into and all this kind of stuff. But it was like, no, we need to do these press conferences so we can tell half of the people in this audience. Yeah, there's some people in the audience that are like, like fans, and they paid to be there, blah, 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 whatever. But at the end of the day, E3 is for them. It's not really for us. It's never been for us. That's what PAX is for. PAX is supposed to be for us. Mm-hmm. So like the idea that like, yeah, maybe we need to just fucking make something real quick, just so we can show people that we're not just fucking doing nothing. I understand that. I
but the thing is, they were up there just talking about showing that we're not doing nothing, but they were just doing nothing.
but like we're talking about this like it's not an industry thing, and we're talking about it like it's a BioWare thing. No, like fucking why do we even remember Peter Molyneux?
Because of Fable was awesome, even though he
Because Fable was awesome, but every fucking game he came out with, he overpromised and underdelivered. Because he overpromised at those events.
Yeah.
Like, he overpromised at those events and talked about how great everything would be, blah, 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 whatever. But at the end of the day, like, this is an industry thing. And, like, you know, like we keep putting this shit on BioWare as if fucking Ubisoft doesn't do this with all of their shit. You know what I mean? Like, all of their shit is downgraded. Every last bit of it is fucking downgraded from what the fuck they show us at these trade shows. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, we can't just put this at the feet of BioWare. And like, BioWare, by coming out with this game, are in the process of losing a lot of people that were Team BioWare everything. But at the end of the day, like, I think if they could have done this, without the constraints of EA, and they actually had somebody backing them without pushing them, this would have been a lot better product. And trying to make sure that we get this shit out before our fiscal year ends, like, somebody should have been like, no, there was no way we can put this shit out. But then again, we are in a culture where, like, games come out broken all the time. And it's crazy because like I keep saying this, we have to keep applauding Division for putting out a full game at launch.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we feel like we have to. And that should never be the case. Like, they put out a full game. Like, you know, like, the only outlier to the whole full game thing is Nintendo. Because Nintendo has enough money that they can actually be like, no, go fucking finish this shit and then we'll talk. Like, nobody else, it doesn't seem like anybody else can really do that. Which is a problem.
It's just weird that these, that are third party AAAs, which are like dominant. Like, if a third party AAA come out, it was going to be really good. It might not be your cup of tea if you're just not into that certain genre, but for the people that were into a first-person shooter or an RTDS, it was that game for them, you know what I mean? But then now it seems like indies are more freaking put together than a fucking AAA. And like...
But we can also say that indies, we can't just say indies, because indies and first party are making the difference here, where third party ruled last generation. Yeah. And that's the reason why Microsoft is losing, because Microsoft got rid of a lot of first party stuff last generation, and now they don't really have anything. You know what I mean? Like, they don't really have a whole lot. And let's be honest, Sony put out a bunch of bullshit in the beginning, but eventually Sony got their shit together, and they just been releasing a string of bangers. A string of bangers. And
well, that's like pretty much how it is. But
let's also clarify: it's a bunch of bangers that we play for like a week or two, maybe, and then no one ever touches the shit ever again.
Well, I mean, that's the kind of shit I dig too. Like, I mean, yeah, I do really dig like a game like The Division, but do I have time to play a game like The Division? Or right now I'm playing through Wolfenstein: The New Order or whatever. I haven't finished that yet, and I've been enjoying the fuck out of that. And I know it's a single player game that I can start and finish. I ain't gotta worry about like, armor and trying to get my armor gear up or whatever, or try to find someone to play with. I can just...
Well, that's the reason why I liked NBA Live as a fallback. Because it's a game that primarily I'm playing the game by myself. So I can pause the game, and then like, if, we have one main TV, And for the most part, with the exception of like now when I'm doing a podcast right here, my girlfriend actually, she refuses to use the other TVs. But like, like, and so like that's a game that I can just stop. Like it's not anything, or I can finish it fast and just be done with it. The Division, I can't finish fast. Like if I'm stuck in the middle of a fucking stronghold, like what I was doing, 2 minutes before I came on here, I had to hurry up and just go to the fucking White House and just end the shit real fast so that I can be here on time.
Right.
So like I like the fact that we have both. And here's what I've said for quite some time. A lot of people are down on the gaming industry in general, but I think there's never been a better time to be a gamer or a game player, whatever you want to call it, for yourself. I'll let you choose for yourself. I'm not calling you a gamer, but you play games, so I call you a game player. Or I'm gonna call you a game player. But there's never been a better time because like there's so many things available, and whatever is your thing, you can go do that. Like I joke with my little cousins and my nephew about them playing a bunch of Fortnite. Just messing with them. But like they have that avenue. And if that's something that they just dig, like, Fortnite and Apex and all that kind of stuff, they have that avenue. And it's dope that they have that. And then I can have my Division avenue or whatever. People who like sports games can play the 2K stuff or Madden or whatever. Like you don't hear much about Madden these days very much at all, which is weird because Madden used to be everything. But like there's so much stuff. And then like with me and the games that I come back to all the time, like I could play RimWorld and Proven Architect and all of these different things that have nothing to do with any of this other stuff, but it's all available for whatever you want. And I find that to be dope. The only big problem with that is, here's the big problem. Last generation started and there were not a lot of releases all the time until like the end of the life cycle.
Yeah.
So like when something new came up, everybody jumped on it, and you could always find a game with your friends and all of that kind of stuff. Because we have so much available, like there's not really a whole lot of things that you could do with your friends. Like because like
everybody split up on different things. Because you knew that, like, last time.
In different platforms. Like, right now, both you and I have the Division, and we can't play the game together because you're on PC and I'm on Xbox. I think eventually both of us need to get it on PlayStation. I think we need to do that.
Well, I let both of my console subscriptions lapse.
That don't mean you can't get it back.
It don't. But I did do that because I just wasn't using it enough. And the free games haven't been like the free games for Xbox have been kind of because they got Game Pass, and then the free games for the PlayStation was mostly shit I already had. So I was like, okay,
yeah. So it's cool. I mean,
you sound a little sad. I didn't mean to make you sad.
I think a part of it is kind of sad because there's a lot of games that I would love to be able to play. Like, this whole Division thing right now. Like, I'm playing, and you're saying, like, we had the conversation before the show started. Like, you're playing when you can, but like, you don't know a whole lot of people that are playing, and then you have to catch people when they're playing, and they're like, I'm out here all the time.
Yeah.
I think that's why we need more multi-platform that you could play with.
Cross-play.
Cross-platform, that's what it was.
Yeah, maybe that'll change. I don't know, because there is a rumor that Borderlands 3 might be cross-play.
That'd be cool. I mean, I'm kind of cool with the whole Borderlands thing. I really want to play Borderlands 2 again.
Yeah,
I want to play some Borderlands 2. But what I have on every platform except for PlayStation. I have Borderlands 2 on every platform it's available on except for PlayStation.
Cool. Well, did you have Borderlands 1 on the PC, like the Game of the Year edition? So did you get your
I'd say Borderlands 2. I don't have it.
Yeah, I know, but I thought you got the first one because if you got the first one, the Game of the Year edition, you would have got well, I mean, all the DLC and stuff. You would have got the remastered version for free. I didn't know if you.
I am not aware that I have. Oh, I do have the Borderlands Game of the Year, and also I'm looking at my Steam library. I do have the Borderlands Game of the Year enhanced.
Nice. Because I started that up, and I started up a new, because you can import your characters too, like if you have it on your hard drive or whatever.
I don't really have a whole lot of characters on PC,
right?
I don't even think I even played Borderlands 1 on PC at all.
Well, I started a Mordecai, and yeah, the starting weapons they're in your backpack. They're legit, man. That are I mean, they'll be legit for like a few levels, but they're legit for starting out. And all that stuff from Borderlands 2 is there, like auto pickup, mini map, heads and stuff for your character.
Nah, I'm gonna say this, and I'm only gonna say this once. It's all about Team Roland. Like, you can't be anything else. Like, if you are anything else other than Team Roland,
my Roland is main. I just started the Mordecai to see the beginning, to see the startup weapons.
Okay, I'll let that ride, but it's Team Roland everything.
Yeah,
know what I mean? But yeah, man, I did play a little bit of Killing Floor. Now, here's the thing about Killing Floor: the update came out.
Mm-hmm.
And the requirements for the new the new thing, the cyberpunk, whatever you want to call it, are much lower than they have been.
Cool.
But here's the thing: one of them I am finding fucking possible to do. This new update, they only have one new map, and it's called Spillway. The problem with Spillway is there's not a whole lot of choke points. It's a lot of turns, and it's a rather large map. Well, I mean, it's a decently sized map, but there is nowhere for you to like post up. So like, no matter where you are, people, they're just gonna come from everywhere.
Yeah.
So like,
well, I thought that was kind of like Killing Floor in general, because when you thought that you were like kind of posted up, they were coming from like the under the floorboards and shit.
But like, there's areas in most of the maps where you can have a good stand, where you can hold things down. I don't really have that in the new map Spillway, and it's really easy. Like, one of the Halloween update, you had to get to like level 25 on endless, starting on hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that difficult to do, but not impossible. I am finding getting to level 15 on Spillway fucking impossible. Like, I don't know what it is. This is just redonkulous. I do like the new Firebug weapon. It is like kind of like the cross between an assault rifle and the microwave gun.
Yeah.
Where you shoot kind of pellets. You shoot kind of like microwave pellets at them. I like that a lot. And you switch between full auto and in a 3-round burst. I dig that quite often. I have not tried the Kilowatt, which is an electric weapon that is only available to the survivalist.
Okay.
Kind of like the ice thing is only available to the survivors. But I really dig it, and I really hope. I don't know why people don't really love this game as much as I do.
I don't think they just gave it a chance
because the name is stupid. The name is a barrier for a whole lot of people. Like, when I start telling people about Killing Floor, they're just like, Killing Floor? The fuck is a Killing Floor? Dun dun dun.
It's a floor where you kill a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Don't you like killing shit in video games? Isn't that why you play video games, so you can kill shit? Or do you just like jumping on platforms and trying to avoid a pothole?
And sometimes when you're playing a platformer, like you're still killing stuff. Like you think those Goombas just disappear?
Yeah,
you jumped feet first onto them and flattened them out until they splatted and died.
Yeah, Mario just like
yeah,
Mario's just like curb stomping some fucking Goombas.
Here's the problem. Here's one of the things with video games, and this was a thing like a few years ago. Somebody noticed, like, how many video games are there where there is no violence? Like, even in like The Sims, like a lot of people do like stupid shit, like building their Sims into an area and then like put a whole bunch of fucking fireplaces and just watch them die.
Well, some of the like story, like I actually just finished 2 games that were like kind of shorter games. I finished What Remains of Edith Finch, and there was no. Well, I mean, there was talk of death, but you didn't kill anybody because you were recounting the stories of your family tree or whatever. But I don't know.
There's just not a lot. I'm not saying that there's not any. I'm just saying that there's not a lot.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird.
But yeah, I played through that game and I thought it was going to be just like all the other like walking sim type games, which I dig some if they got a pretty decent story. But that one had some pretty interesting gameplay choices to where like certain stories would have different gameplay, like almost like what is the M. Night Shyamalan thing? Like twists. They have like it would have the twist is like all of a sudden it's a horror game, but it's like not like a normal horror game. It's like kind of like tongue in cheek, like comic book horror. And then the other one, it's like Diablo. All of a sudden, you're just playing Diablo. But yeah, it's really good. I really highly recommended that. I played it on the Epic Store. Actually, they gave it to us for free.
Okay.
But and I actually finished that game that Sam finished called Tacoma.
Uh-huh.
That was really good. I dug the story in that. I like how, because you would go through the different, because you're trying to figure out what happened, and then you kind of play these memories that are like, I guess are recorded in some sort of augmented reality way. So you would be like standing there watching these people talk or whatever was recorded. But then you can rewind it and go in the other room where someone just walked up. You can see what they were talking about before that, so you can see like what different people were talking about at the same time that the other people were talking. So you would have to rewind and go back, and so that was really cool. I think that mechanic could be used in other, like in the actual RPG, to where you're actually going to different areas and like seeing what these guys actually really thought. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It was pretty cool.
Word up.
But yeah,
that's cool. So,
I guess Sam's working tonight, huh?
No, Sam is in New York. He went to WrestleMania.
Oh yeah. Peace out.
I find the WrestleMania thing to be weird. Okay, so people who watch wrestling, especially black people who watch wrestling, are very, very have gotten very, very emotional because a brother just won the championship, and he's a Grand Slam championship. He's pretty much won them all that he could. You know, of course, he can't win a women's championship. And it's weird to me as being someone who's not really in on the wrestling. I'm not
because
really
it's
in
scripted. On the wrestling. It's not like he actually won.
No. That's only part of it.
Yeah.
That's only part of it. Well, actually, that's the whole thing. But let me elaborate. It's scripted, so that means it was already in the cards for him to win this.
Yeah.
But if you're, you know, like I've heard people who are wrestling fans say, black wrestling fans say that they cried and like they had like a real emotional reaction to this. And I go, okay, why did you have this emotional reaction? And like I saw a video with two wrestlers that are now since retired. They had an emotional reaction to this. And there were two brothers, and they both had an emotional reaction to him winning. And I say, well, why are y'all emotional?
Was it? I mean, you can get emotional during a movie or something because wrestling is pretty much like a movie.
See, look, check this. But here's my thing. You got emotional because brother finally won the championship when there hasn't been that many of them, and the fact that we know that this whole thing is scripted. So that means that all this time you've been supporting the people that didn't want any black people to win it in the first place. So like, if it's scripted for him to win, it was scripted for no one else to not win. And you supported them this whole time.
Well, maybe they did that. They this whole ploy was like, like a 40-year thing to have him win. They had this in the books this whole time. They wanted to be the longest freaking underdog story in the whole.
Yeah, like it's been crazy because like there hasn't been a real black champion since like King Booker and The Rock. Like that's how far back you gotta go. The Rock? Are you serious? Do you know how long it's been since The Rock has actually like really wrestled? Like he hasn't been like really, really wrestling since the Scorpion King. You know what I'm saying? Like he's, he kind of shows up for some events and stuff like that. He might wrestle a little something, but he ain't really been a part of the day-to-day wrestling operation since the Scorpion King.
The Rock looks a lot like Dwayne Johnson. Have you noticed that? What?
So the fact that in most cases they call him Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson means absolutely nothing to your fucking stupid joke.
Nope.
For real?
I ain't gonna apologize for shit.
You ain't got to. You ain't got to at all. Well, I haven't really watched much. I'm at the end of Daredevil season 3, and it sucks knowing that that's it. It really sucks knowing that that's it. And that's all I really have to say about that. Like, it's kind of tragic because season 3 of Daredevil is absolutely fucking amazing. I mean, it's really stinking good. And I liked it better than Luke Cage. And I know it hurts my heart to say that. I liked it better than Luke Cage. That hurt a lot to say out loud. I typically say where I rank the seasons or whatever like that. And I say, I might think that this is better. No, it's actually better. It's the best. It's the best one so far. Of the Marvel Netflix shows, it is the best season of a Marvel Netflix show ever. And that hurts a lot. But I would love to sit around and watch more things. One, most of my DC TV shows that I do watch every week are off because they took some time off from March Madness. So, like, that shit don't come back until next week. And then, like, the weird thing that happened around here. I'm in Richmond. The University of Virginia is in Charlottesville. Because of the Nazi things, we don't talk very much about Charlottesville. We just kind of let Charlottesville be what Charlottesville is. But
a nice town that some shitty people marched in. That's what it is.
Yes. But the University of Virginia was part of that march. Actually, something that happened on the university, I believe, don't 100% quote me on that, is the reason for the march. They were going to take down one of those statues, so they decided to have a rally. Part of it included the University of Virginia, or walking past it or some shit like that. But because they actually went to the championship, or they're playing in the championship tonight or right now or however you want to say it. I don't know when the game starts. I'm not really a college sports fan. Man, I've been seeing University of Virginia shit everywhere. Now, to clarify, this shit is the University of Virginia is an hour away. Everything around here is VCU everything. Because VCU is in Richmond.
But you gotta separate some things, man. You can separate separate the University of Virginia from the University of the Virgins, which are the Nazis.
Accurate. I finally co-signed some of your fuckery. But it's just weird that all of a sudden, just kind of overnight, all of this shit just switched up. We don't really have any professional sports teams around here. So people just kind of gravitate to different things. But all of a sudden you're seeing Cavs everything, or Wahoo's everything, or Yoo-Hoos, whatever the fuck you want to call them. I think it's the Wahoos that is the nickname.
In the South, there's not very many professional sports, so that's why college sports are so big around here. It's
in high school is a big deal in a lot of places in the South.
Yeah,
high school sports is a big deal around here, and especially at home. Which is further away from anything, at least in Richmond, we do have VCU that normally does something pretty decent in the tournament, the basketball tournament and such.
Until you get a high school game and you're a senior in high school and a middle schooler is trying to hit on you, so you have to pretend you and your bro have to pretend you're gay to get her to leave you alone.
That has never happened to me. I don't think it will ever happen to me. But yeah, man, they made it to the championship. They're playing the championship right now. Right now the game's tied. And all of a sudden people just switched up, and it's just weird being in a place that's been, since I've been here, is VCU everything, and now all of a sudden it's UVA everything.
Yeah.
It's just weird. I just wanted to say how weird it was. So, do we got anything else we want to talk about?
Fucking Wolfenstein: The New Order's dope as shit. There's a lot of fucking killing Nazis in that game.
I've heard so many good things about it. I just have never had the time to really sit down and play that and play Doom, because I heard a lot of people say that Doom would probably be something that I would enjoy. Mm-hmm. I just never had the time to sit down and actually play it.
Right. Oh, I haven't played it yet, but I have Assassin's Creed, the Origins one, because it was a Humble Bundle thing. So I'll probably go through that at some point. I was actually kind of interested in that one. That would look really cool.
I heard good things about that one too.
So yeah.
I think so. Is there anything else?
We're right at 59 minutes, so I think we're pretty good, man. I think the amount that we actually do during the week actually is about an hour worth of content. So I think. Well, I did go see a movie, man. I went to go see a movie, and my wife got fucked up. And because we went to go see the Beach Bum, which was a really good movie. I highly recommend it. But it was at a movie theater called the Alamo.
She did look really fucked up in that one picture. She looked like,
yeah.
She looked like the embodiment of. She looked like, what you would think, for the podcast listeners that can't see my face, the kind of face that someone would make when they say something like that. She looked like that.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
I'm not telling you that you're wrong, but yeah, we went to a place called the Alamo. It's a movie theater that's also like a record store, and you can rent freaking DVDs for free, but you have to like turn them in within the week. But it's basically like a DVD library, but they have like a really fucking good selection of like just fucking wild shit, you know? And you can even like
a second.
Okay, but you can rent DVDs there for free, like a library, and you just have to turn it in within the week or whatever. And they have like a big selection of VHS, and you can like rent VHS, like a VCR and shit, because there's a lot of like fucking independent shit that it wasn't even released on fucking DVD and shit. So and it's the whole
for you.
Yeah, the whole atmosphere is pretty cool. They have all these freaking like crazy like posters of like 70s blaxploitation movies and like fucking motorcycle like fucking action B movie shit, and all the like before the movie they had clips of other movies that were sort of kind of related to the movie, but not really. Like maybe, oh yeah, you're watching Ant-Man. Here's like some clips of like ants taking over the world or whatever. And then they had this little video of Matthew McConaughey and Harmony Korine like talking about not using your cell phone in the movie theater, and it was like super fucking funny because they were like they looked like they were fucked up the whole time. But yeah, they serve pretty good food and beer, and the popcorn actually, because the movie tickets are like $11, which is about the price of a normal movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
Like a large popcorn, which is like a big ass fucking silver bowl or whatever, is $7.50, and it's refillable. Like you get as much popcorn as you want, and you don't have to go back to the station because they'll refill it for you, like at your seat. So that's pretty fucking legit. You were gonna like laugh at this shit. I was skeptical too. I was really skeptical, but it was really fucking good. We ordered a pizza that was it was bacon, Brussels sprouts, and goat cheese.
Nah, I'm out.
That shit was fucking good, dude. It was really fucking good. I was like, Brussels sprouts on a pizza? I was like, I don't know.
Why would you order that?
Well, Max recommended it. He said he had it before, so I was like, I don't know. Okay, Max, whatever. I trust you. Yeah, it was really good. It was legit.
That's not even some shit I would even try. I don't think I've even had Brussels sprouts, so I don't even know if they could be really good or just, you know.
Brussels sprouts are always like this thing, like, oh man, Brussels sprouts are disgusting. They're like just little tiny cabbages. That's all they are. Like,
that don't sound good.
You don't like cabbage? You don't like slaw?
I mean, cabbages are cool. I mean, I prefer them in like egg rolls, but like.
Well, I said, yeah, that was kind of like the kind of flavor it had. It was kind of like a little bit of egg roll, a little bit of bacon, and the goat cheese was like, it was like mozzarella, but it was like super rich. It was really good. And it was really filling too. But and their nachos was like legit, like queso and cheese that you would get at like a Mexican restaurant. So
okay,
that was, and the seats were like recliners and shit. So that was a legit fucking movie theater. I really enjoyed that place. And the movie was really good. Beach Bum. It's basically Matthew McConaughey playing Matthew McConaughey as a fucking Key West beach bum, and he just likes to party, man. It's got fucking Snoop Dogg and Martin Lawrence and fucking Margaritaville dude. What's his name? And the kid from
I don't know anything about it. Like, so, like you got me. Like, unless
what Margaritaville dude? Like, you sing that song, Beach Dude.
Why would I sing that song?
Because you love fucking Margaritaville.
Who the fuck black loves Margaritaville? Except for The Rock. He sang it with Stone Cold on wrestling once.
But I can't think of his name to save my life.
Or something like that.
Somebody in the fucking that's listening is like, what the fuck? You don't remember his name? But I don't know. It's just a mind blank.
I'm too black to know the answer.
Yeah, and I'm too fucking, forgetful to like know anything. Apparently, but yeah, Martin Lawrence's character was really funny.
That's different because like lately Martin Lawrence hasn't really been that funny.
I dug his character because he was like this tour guide for dolphins and shit, but he was like really fucking bad at it. Okay. And he had a parrot that he gave Coke to.
Like Coke?
Yeah. So, but yeah, there's not really much. Well, the thing about Harmony Korine's movies, they're not really big on like traditional plot, but it's not like they're slow moving or like what the fuck is going on. There's nothing going on. When you hear no plot, you think of this movie has no direction. It's just kind of like, this is what happens in this week. And it's not like, oh yeah, here's the conflict, here's the climax or whatever. It's like, this is what happens. And it just kind of flows. And there's some like legitimate like funny parts and like some legitimate like sad parts. And it's just like, it's just a good movie. And it's a pretty good, feel-good movie too. I dig it.
Yeah, I'm so behind on movies. Like, it seems interesting, but I don't know if I'll ever get around to it because I'm behind on movies so much.
But these days, like, we wanted to go to the movies just to hang out with friends and stuff. But, like, if you're like, oh, I didn't catch this movie in the movie theater, like, fucking, like 2 months from now, it'll be on fucking Blu-ray or on Amazon or whatever. You know what I mean? It ain't like in the 90s where like 2 years goes by and it finally gets released on VHS. You know what I mean? It's such a quick turnaround because not a lot of people go into the movies. But if movie theaters start going in the direction of like this movie theater to where it's more of like a cool experience of hanging out with your friends and stuff versus just going to the fucking movies, which is not really that fun anymore because you can just do that at home with less overpriced food.
True.
So, but yeah, I think that's about it, man.
All right. Well, I'm glad I kind of got everything out at the beginning because I don't remember. There was something else I was supposed to say. But again, thank you to Chris and Meef. Mm-hmm. Everyday Gamers. Go check them out. Go out and check out the episode of Casual Conversation. And look for more just random stuff to just hit the feed. Because I had a lot of fun doing that. And you and Sam both need to do yours.
Yes.
And we did have some people comment in the Discord that we do need to go over.
Go over?
We need to talk about it because Pim actually put his after I put that episode out, but he only did 2. I'm like, yeah, you need 5.
Oh yeah, because he just did his fucking like WWE or whatnot, right?
Right. It was wrestling and NCAA football.
Yeah,
that was it.
But that's probably pretty much about it for him right now. Like if we talked like 4 years ago, it'd probably be like Destiny in there too. But he's probably just playing those 2 at this point.
Yeah, and go check out his live streams and his videos for the wrestling thing. For the BCW wrestling, he does a series of YouTube live streams where there's a bunch of he belongs to a group and they all create wrestlers and they put them into he puts them into a basically a wrestling promotion of his own. and he commentates. He does. They wrestle on their own, and he basically commentates. So it's really enjoyable. Like I said, I used to do that with the SmackDown versus Raw games, and I never thought that anyone would I never thought that anyone would actually do that. I never, I was probably sitting on a pretty good idea if I would have done this a long time ago. But I really dig watching his stuff. And so I did not watch the very last one, but I watched the next to the last one. So it's just, time to catch up when I'm not playing Division, because I'm playing a lot of Division, sometimes to 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
You getting crazy, man. Party until. I ain't even gonna put a time. It's just party until.
It's been different because having to trying not to do it. I'm just like, but I need to do this last thing, and then it lasts longer than I expected it to, and then it's like, fuck, I got to go to work tomorrow.
That's the thing. Division's missions are actually pretty long. They're not short like you would think they would be.
They are now for me because I'm a decently high level. Now, when I get to the next tier, that may be a problem.
I mean, there's more steps than last time.
Yeah, but it's really cool. But I don't really want to talk any more Division because I could talk Division for quite some time.
You don't want to divide the audience.
All right, so again, thank all of you for checking us out and checking out everything that we do, whether it's the videos, the painting videos, casual conversation, pimps videos. Let's get them likes up over there because he really digs the whole likes thing. I'm giving away a painting, so go to the Peace Through Colors Arts and Crafts YouTube page. Links in the show notes, or it should be. If it's not, I'll put it there. Because you can get some free stuff. Who doesn't like free stuff?
Free stuff is cool.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. All right, so for the homie Chase, I'm Scarfinger. This is Scarcasm, and we're out of here. Peace out to the Warriors, yo.
Pimp should come on the podcast. Pimp should come on the podcast.
He should. He should. Every time he thinks about it, he goes, well, when do y'all record? I let him know when we record, and I never hear anything else about it. So, it's up to Pimp.
It's up to Pimp. Later.
It's happening.
I like that shit, yeah, boy. Yeah, I'm telling you, Whoa. I'm telling. All right, I ain't gonna talk.